word, YouTube. It's Big Will back with another episode, Life After Prison. Listen, this episode, it's got nothing to do with me being in jail or anything like that. It's a message for like all you kids. Like, use your fucking head, man. Like, I don't know what you kids think nowadays. Okay, in my day, we could talk about people, right? We had landlines. This is when I was a kid, when I'm a teenager. Okay, later on, cell phones became available later in life, right? But when I was a teenager, we didn't have cell phones, you know. They were back when they were the big bags in the car. Like, you had to have money, to have a car phone or a cell phone. They were dinosaurs. They were huge, you know. And then you'd get the big Motorola ones, the gray ones that a little flip. This is all before walkie-talkie came out and the Nextel, all that bullshit. Way before that, way before we would have pages and sky pages. This is way before that and stuff. When I was a teenager, we didn't have cell phones, right? So you couldn't just pick up the phone and call somebody. We didn't have computers. We didn't have computers till I was in my late 20s. Quick story. First time I got my computer, I didn't know how to use it. I was messing. I wasn't messing. I was talking to a girl from New York. Her name was Italian Babe. I'm Italian. We exchanged pictures. Things got explicit. She started sending me naked pictures. I didn't send her any naked pictures, but I was married at the time, and I didn't, computers are new, you know what I mean? So when I clicked on the picture to download it, because I was telling the guy at work, hey, shit, these computers, dude, they're on. I met this chick in New York. She wants to come down here to Massachusetts. She keeps telling me she wants to kidnap me, blah, blah, blah. And she was a nurse, and she owned a couple of houses. She just wanted to come down and take care of me. She wanted to kidnap me, right? Now, I believe it was all for talk, all for bullshit, all for fun. But these are some of the things we had. But like I said, it got explicit with her. She started sending me naked pictures. I was new with the computer. I was very young, very naive to it. When I clicked on her pictures to print them, I had double clicked on it 2 or 3 times. Click, 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 click. Her picture printed out. It was Yahoo chat. This is before Facebook and before MySpace. It was just Yahoo chat. You'd be in chat rooms, and you'd be able to see somebody, and it'd be in a room. You know what I'm saying, with a bunch of people. So I had clicked on her pictures, and I had shut my phone off. I shut my computer off. We had desktops at the time with big towers and shit, Things that some of you kids have never used or seen. Ancient ones, right? Anyways, I had clicked on it, and I got her picture, and I got her, the conversation we were having, it printed out. I brought it to work, showed the guy. I came home from work, went to my second job. My ex-wife come home. She was a nurse. She had come home from, she wasn't a nurse. She was a medical secretary. Let me put it that way. She was in the medical field. But she came home from work. I had already left my second job. I was working at my second job. I get a call from my ex-wife, and she's on the phone. You love me. What's going on? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's calling me at work now. She's like, you got to come home. We got to talk. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What's going on? She's like, listen, just come home. And I'm like, listen, I just can't leave. You know what I'm saying? After work, I'll be there. What's the problem? Is it an emergency? No, it's not an emergency, and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I went home later. She's like, do you love me? I'm like, yeah, secret, I didn't. But I was like, yeah, I mean, we had a daughter. I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I love you. Why? And she hit me with it. What's this? And she showing me the pictures and the conversations me and this girl were having, and it was so like shocking to her and like her mother, my ex-mother-in-law, that my ex-father-in-law, when cell phones, like they couldn't get my ex-father-in-law couldn't get a laptop or a computer in his house. They didn't have cell phones for years when they came out. Because my ex-mother-in-law, she told my father-in-law, no way. Like, no way. This is what people do. They meet other girls and they cheat, and it was all fun. You know what I'm saying? You can look at porn, find it, and when you're a 20-year-old kid and not in love with your wife, you tend to look at porn and flirt with other women on the internet. You know what I mean? Anyways, getting back to these computers and stuff, right? So, like, my point is, when we would talk about people and shit, it would be on a landline, and you would not hear from, you'd hear a rumor from someone else that went to someone else. You know what I mean? That someone called someone's house, and two girls were gossiping all night, and this one said this about you, or you'd be in school or shit like that, and it'd be a rumor and a message got passed, and there was no cell phones and no shit like that, right? Things weren't instant like they are now. You kids get on the internet and you talk about people, right? And you talk shit, and you say, this one, I'm going to shoot you, and I'm going to kill this one, and I'm going to do that, and hey, you got a problem? You know where I live. I just did a video the other day about the rapper down in Florida, on the internet, talking shit on Instagram. Oh, anybody want smoke? I'll be home in 5 minutes. If you want smoke, come get it. Someone went to get it and killed him, right? Savage Studios, talking shit about everybody that he came across, right? I never had the, let me say, pleasure of of getting into it with him. You know what I'm saying? He was before I had gotten into YouTube, let's say. So I never got into Savage Studios, right? I seen a couple of his videos later on, but I never got into him and who he talked about, and on the West Coast, and most of you know who he is, and if you don't, he was a gang member. I won't speak on any of the gangs that he was in, but he was a dropout. Lived in PC in prison, got out, claimed the gang, then found out that he wasn't in it. Then then it all came out. People were speaking of how he lived in PC and blah blah blah. But he was out still talking about gangs and shit that he was in, and gangs, dissing the gangs, and, some organizations you just don't speak on, right? Well, he did. He thought he was untouchable, and he got killed. King Von, well, his wasn't an internet case, but he's on the internet beefing, is my point. He's on the internet beefing with other, they're on Twitter and they're on Instagram, and they're dropping disses and they're writing songs and they're on doing live streams, and they're, fuck this one and I'm going to kill that one, and ask him how his buddy is being smoked on, and shit like that, right? Pop Smoke, rest in peace. What'd he do? He was taking pictures, put out on, pictures, and the address of his Airbnb went out there, and he had 4 little gangsters go in there and, rob him and kill him. You know what I'm saying? Like, the point is, you kids, everything is instant nowadays. When you talk about somebody's not going to hear it a month, a year later. It's not talk. You kids fight with guns and not so much knives, but you kids shoot at each other and kill each other like life means nothing. When you yes, you kids, everything is right away. And when you start dissing people and talking about people and saying you're going to kill their family, and someone will find you, right? They look for you. And like I said, everybody plays with guns nowadays like life ain't nothing. Like smarten up. You know, when you kill somebody, it's not only them that lose. Okay? You might think that you're a tough guy because you shot somebody, but you're going to jail for the rest of your life. Is that the kind of life that you're really looking for? Is to be hemmed down, watching over your back? Right? You got to walk with a shank because you don't know if Big Bubba is going to try and take your ass. You know, you got to walk with a shank because you don't know if the opposing gang in there is going to get back at you for killing their friend. Right? Like, not only do the person dies, you go to jail, you lose, but there's families involved. You know, you got a kid, you kill somebody, you're going for life now. That's what you want your kid to grow up and know you as? And speak, my father's in prison, and repeat the cycle. My father's in prison for killing somebody, he's never coming home, and repeat the cycle. Then your child is unguided. There's no guidance. Or you got some strange kid that your kid's mother is now, you know, banging some dude and he's raising your kid. You don't want that shit. Man, it's not worth it to kill somebody. It really isn't, man. I don't care. You might think it makes you tough. It makes you an asshole. It makes you a fucking asshole if you kill somebody. Straight up. Now, don't get me wrong. There are instances. If somebody takes your kid and rapes your kid, I think it's justified. Okay? If somebody kills your kid, I think it's justified. If you kill that person for raping your kid, or I think it's justified. Okay? But to do it because over a corner that none of his own, the government owns, a street corner, you don't kill somebody because they're on your street corner. It's not your street corner. It's not their street corner. It's the government's. People have fucking free access to walk all over this earth. But because you're from one gang and they're from another, we're going to shoot you if you step on the street corner? Stupid, stupid. I played all that gang shit when I was a kid. I wasn't in the Crips or the Bloods. My crew was a Southside Posse. That's what we were. Southside Posse. The guys that we ran with were Dockside Posse. They were all rappers. Now, this is going back late 80s, early 90s, okay? The first time being shot at from not another gang, just a person from another city, New Bedford. First time being shot at, we were like, holy shit. Like, this is real. You know what I mean? Like, the first time shooting at somebody because they were from a different city and started the fight in a bar. You know, they're in a car in front of us and we're chasing and I'm shooting out the window at them. You know, the driver was like, man, what the fuck? We're going to prison because of these guys? Like, no, let's get out of here. Let's, you know, and shit like that, you know? Like, suppose I would have killed one of them kids. Shot him in the head. Suppose that kid would have came down from New Bedford and shot at me only because, and hit me because he was fucking around with a girl in the projects that I lived in. And we weren't having that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, stupid shit. You grow up, you get wise, and you learn. Listen, man. Take it for what it's worth. Jail is not what you want to be for the rest of your life. If you've never been there, you don't want to go there. If you've been there before and you think, yeah, I've been there, I can do that. Nobody's saying you can't do it, but do you want to do it? Is that what you want to do? If you do, God fucking bless you. Get out there and have a party. Shoot at whoever the fuck you want and go crazy. But that's just pure stupidity. You gotta count on someone to put money on your books every week. You gotta count on someone who's gonna come visit you. And then you get all pissed off when they can't come visit you. Or you're in jail for the rest of your life and you're saying the girl you're with, oh, my girl's gonna come see me. And do what? And go home and do what? Be faithful to you? Be loyal to you? You think that's gonna happen? Nah. Definitely not. Definitely not. I don't know what else to say, man, but a lot of people talk negatively about Savage Studios. I didn't. I didn't know him. There was never no beef or nothing between us, you know, so he is a person like I am. Yeah, maybe he was a cockhead to people and he was an asshole. I am sometimes too, you know. We all are. Nobody's perfect. But does that mean that you gotta kill somebody for it? God is the only judge. Okay, we're not here to judge people. Let he who has not sinned cast the first stone. There ain't a motherfucker that'll see this video that has not sinned in their life. And if you are that righteous and you're watching the prison genre, there's something wrong with you. I don't know. I just hoping, you know, somebody sees this and they get the message. Do the right thing. Hopefully it'll help somebody change their mind. Do the right thing. God bless you. It's your boy, Big Will. Like and subscribe. Leave in the comments what you think. Hit that notification bell. Maybe you'll like the next video. But it's your boy, Big Will, and I'm out. Peace.